Pradeep Kumar ji online. Pradeep sir, namaste, namaskara. I am so happy to be seeing Pradeep sir today. I was also swimming in Baswangudi Aquatic Center, and what an opportunity it was to be seeing Pradeep sir do his magic so closely, because he was training all the young athletes even from that time. So, sir, on behalf of a very grateful nation, we are so happy and proud of all the incredible Olympians, incredible achievers you have produced. And I'm so happy that you're a fellow Bangalorean. Namaskara, Pradeep sir. Thank you. So today, guys, we are joined by Srihari Natarajan, by Sajan, Prakash, Mana Patel, and Fawad Mirza. 4 Olympians, 4 champions who will be representing India in the Tokyo 2020 Olympics. All the 4 of them have reached this stage because of their hard work, grit, and perseverance. They will be making India proud, carrying the hopes and aspirations of 1 billion Indians when they go to Tokyo. The reason why we thought we must interact with them and learn from them and get inspired from them is because each of them and their journey is capable of triggering 100 million more dreams, and India will become a sports superpower only when we are able to catalyze and inspire more and more young people. I thank Srihari, Sajan, Fawad Mirza, and Mana Patel for joining us in this important interaction. Literally, thousands of young people are watching this. And I hope that in the course of the interaction, they will learn more about you, learn more about your journey, your struggles and travails, and get more inspired. I want to first begin talking with Sajan. Sajan, Prakash, welcome to the show. Thank you so much for taking time out, middle of your training and schedule. First of all, congratulations. You got selected as you got qualified and got A qualification. That's a big achievement. And Sajan, the whole country is with you. I want to know, Sajan, on behalf of a lot of curious young people, how your journey was when you started swimming, what it took to reach where you are.
Hello, sir. Thank you for having me and those encouraging words. And we have always followed you. And for the last 1 year, I would say after the lockdown, it was difficult for us to start everything from scratch. Even if I could say with my injury and everything. And I was out of the pool for about 8 months. And Pradeep sir, and he will make you do at any point. He is like a great mentor and godfather to me and to many others. I think if it was not my coach, Pradeep sir, I could not have done it at this point. We have worked on every single detail of this 200 butterfly and every strategy of this race. And we kept the target of achieving the A qualifying from a long time. And we put all the hard work in, and the effort from my coach is really incredible. I think it pays off everything at the end of the day.
Sajan, when did you start swimming? At what age?
I started swimming at the age of 5. And in 2011, I moved to Baswangudi Aquatic Center as well to train under Pradeep sir.
Wow. And what's your day like? So how many hours of training do you put in, and what's it like?
We swim about 10 sessions a week, and each session comprises of 2 hours. And then I will have 4 sessions of dry land or gym every week. So it's like 4 hours of swimming every day, and again, so it's like about total of 6 hours. We totally train.
Unbelievable. And you do this, whether it's winter, whether it's summer, whether the water is cold or hot, you have to be in the water and do your training. That's when, you can maintain your timings, maintain the stamina and excellence, right?
Sir, nam Pradeep sir tsunami bandrena bidalla sir.
Absolute, Sajan. So, bada khushi aitu. Thank you so much, Sajan. And like I told you, we will continue talking, but it's matter of pride that a person who has trained right here in Bengaluru South in Baswangudi Aquatic Center under our very own Pradeep sir is reaching such heights, is representing India at the Olympics. All of us will be cheering. And so, Srihari, that's another hero in the making. Srihari, thank you so much for joining us.
Hi, sir. Thank you for having me.
Thank you. Srihari, the floor is yours. India wants to know about you, Srihari. They want to know who this star in the making is. So tell us all about yourself. Tell us about your journey. Tell us about what difficulties you faced, what you overcame. And we are so interested to know more about you.
Yes, so firstly, I've been swimming for a long time. I started swimming at the age of 2, so that's about the past 18 years. And it's just been, my entire life has been around the sport from a very young age. And I've been born and brought up in Bangalore itself. I stay in Malaysia. Yeah, and then just that's about it. The journey's been good. It's been good. There's been some ups and downs. It's been going good though. That's about it, actually.
Well, there's one thing I want to know. We were planning from the BJYM to run a campaign for 16 days, starting with the beginning of the Olympics. That's on, say, the 23rd of July.
Yeah,
24th of July, right? So we want to begin a campaign called Be Like an Olympian. So we can't be an Olympian, but we want to be like an Olympian. So what we are trying to do here is we are asking young people to sign up for this Be Like an Olympian challenge, where for at least 15 days, Srihari, we want to maintain some kind of a discipline, some kind of, perseverance, follow good habits, and we want to draw inspiration from all the 100+ Olympians who are representing India. So I'm sure without continuous hard work, without dedication through the last so many decades, you would not have reached where you are today. What message do you have to all the participants who want to enroll to this Be Like an Olympian challenge? What does it take to be an Olympian?
For any athlete, the first thing is to, enjoy what they're doing. And if I'm talking about myself, I'm in the sport for 2 reasons. One's because I really enjoy it. It's been something that I've enjoyed and something that I like doing since I was a small kid. And I can't see I just enjoy going to the pool every day, enjoy going to the gym every day. It's a very big part of my life. And then the second thing is, for me, I just want to be as perfect as possible when it comes to the race or when it comes to anything that I do. So that's a message that I give to a lot of people, like someone I'm close to, like some of my juniors and stuff. It's first to, enjoy what they're doing. And then two, to, if you're doing something, try to do it perfectly. Otherwise, don't even bother doing it. There's no point in doing it if you're just going to go and, not enjoy it. And if you don't want to do it the best way that it can be done.
Wow, that sums it so well. I remember Srihari, in my primary school, the school had a logo and it had a tagline which said, "Whatever I do, I will do it well."
Yeah.
This was the very simple message on the school logo. So that pursuit of excellence, pursuit of perfection is something that makes a champion. And I think others will also resonate this. We have also with us Mana Patel. Mana ji, namaste. thank you so much for taking time out and coming. You're a sensation already. So many people are thrilled the fact that you also made this very important qualification to the Olympics. We are all hoping to see you perform amazingly well on the mega stage. So tell us more about you, Manaji. We want to know more about your journey, where you come from, how many years have you trained, and finally, of course, inspire all of us by telling us what it takes to be an Olympian.
Thank you so much for your kind words. It really means a lot to me. So I'm 21 years old and I'm born and brought up in Ahmedabad, Gujarat. I started swimming professionally at the age of 10. So it's been 11 years now, and one crazy bumpy ride, but it has been a very beautiful and a memorable journey so far, and I'm sure a long way to go. I started swimming because of a very funny reason, actually. I mean, when I was young, my appetite was very poor. So that's why my mother put me in a summer batch in 2008, so I'd play in water for some time, learn swimming, come out and eat properly. And her purpose was being solved and I was enjoying at the same time. So everything fell into place. And that's how basically I started taking part in the club level competitions when I was 8 and 9 after I learned and started doing well there. That's when
what kept you motivated throughout? You joined for a very different reason, but what kept you motivated throughout?
I think as Srihari mentioned, love what you do. So I think I really enjoyed swimming. I remember my coach Kamlesh Nanavati asking me once, why backstroke? Why don't you try freestyle or some other stroke? And I think from the very beginning, I've always been a backstroker. So I remember telling him once that, sir, I can swim backstroke all day long without getting tired. And I used to enjoy swimming even as a kid. When I first joined Gujarat Vidyapit, the profession, when I first started my professional training, I used to come back home and write everything that I learned. I used to maintain a file and write down everything, every small thing that I learned about the stroke or about anything that I was taught. So I was very passionate about swimming. When I used to enjoy it a lot. So I think that kept me going. And of course I started winning, and that was that was there too.
Great. So did you swim in Bangalore as well?
Yeah, I was in Bangalore in 2014 for a couple of months on and off, and now since January I'm in Bangalore and I've been training with Nihar sir, and I'm going to continue training with him.
Wonderful. The reason why I keep coming back to asking if all of you are from Bangalore is because my city is India's swimming capital. We keep exporting great Olympians, and we have two amazing coaches here. So Nihalji, thank you so much. You are also with us. And also I wanted to ask you, anyone can take this question, before I come to Mirza. As young people, whether it's in politics, whether it is in sports, especially, or any other field, the role of a mentor, the role of a coach is so important. I mean, they make or break our careers. And if you are lucky enough to get a right coach, it makes wonders in your career. So how important has been the role of the coach in your journey? And many times, not every teacher ends up as your mentor. It, like the teacher also finds the student also has to find the right teacher. So in your journey, how did you meet the mentor? How did that journey take place?
Yeah, I rightly said. I mean, it's very important to click with everything falls into place and you can perform at your best. So for me, so far, I think Nihar sir has been for me, he's been the coach. I keep telling him that, sir, we are a great team, and I think we can produce better results together in the future as well. So I think you've covered it all.
Great. Sajan, what about you?
Sir, I think the relationship for me with Pradeep sir is It's like we share a close bond with us, and he is like he's not only like a mentor to me, he's like a father to me. It's about trusting the program, trusting the values of your coach, and trusting completely what he wants from us, and having that in mind, and we have to trust his work and dedication towards us. And when you know that he put in so much effort, we need to give back to the sport, or give back to um, the to him as well. So I think we share a close bond, and that's when the performance comes out well.
Yeah, absolutely. Sajan, we are also joined today by um, Fahad Mirza, right? And Mirza ji, namaste. Thank you so much for joining this interaction. What a moment of pride this is, for India. After 2016 Rio Olympics, India is being represented in equestrian for the first time again, right? First we represented in 2016, and this is the second time. In 2020, we have you representing us. Equestrian as a sport is not very well known in India. So if you could, speak to us about your love for horses, love for the sport. How did you get into this, line of sport, and your journey? We are all so interested to know more about this.
Firstly, thank you very much for that introduction. Yes, so my love for the sport stems from my love for the animal horses. I grew up around horses and was exposed to them at quite an early age. So I grew very fond of them, and so I started riding at quite an early age. I would say around 5 years old. And initially it was just for fun, and initially it was more towards becoming a jockey, because in India, as we all know, racing is probably the most prominent equestrian sport we have today in India. So that was my initial dream. But as I grew older and continued to ride every day and so on, I was introduced to show jumping and eventing and dressage, and then I realized that this could be a lot more fun, because we had a lot more connection with the horses in these disciplines. And from there, I started riding at the Embassy International Riding School, and they put me on a program which channeled my competition desires, and helped me compete at the national level, international level. And today we're here, and I'm very privileged and honored to be able to talk to you, and so honored to be on this panel of such elite athletes. So it's been a journey filled with ups and downs, and equestrian sport, like you said, is not so popular in India, but hopefully if we can manage to do something good in Tokyo, whatever it may be, I hope it will encourage more the younger generation to take up the sport at home.
Absolutely, Mirza. Just by the fact that you have qualified, you have already set so many people interested in this sport. And where do you train? You train outside of India?
That's correct. So I'm currently training in Germany, in a small village outside of Bremen.
Okay. Where do you hail from?
I head from so we leave from here, Germany.
Where do you in India, where are you from, Mirza?
I'm from Bangalore.
Oh man, wonderful. So it looks like we have got a bunch of all champions hailing from Bangalore. Srihari is from Bangalore. Sajan trained here, Mana trained here, Mirza, you are from here, Pradeep sir is from here. Well, that's amazing. So when do you leave to Tokyo from Germany?
I'm scheduled to fly out on the 20th. So basically the equestrian team has to follow the horse, and my horse is scheduled to fly out on the 20th as well. And shortly after, I'll be catching a flight from Frankfurt to Tokyo.
Okay, great. Amazing. And Pradeep sir, I cannot, conclude this without talking to you. Sir, you have worked closely and have produced so many Olympians. You have trained Sajan, you have trained, so many Olympians who are representing India today. Thank you so much at the very outset. So, how has this journey been? And what has India done in the last few years to improve our support to sportsmen, to sports? What institutional support have you seen getting better? And what does it take to be a coach to identify an Olympian and make a normal athlete into an Olympian?
Thank you so much, sir, for giving me the right introduction, or maybe a little more introduction than I deserve. And my coaching career started at Basangudi, and thanks to my mentor and my godfather, Sri Jagdale. And we started very small with about 15 swimmers there at Basangudi. And the dream, it wasn't mine. It was his dream that we need to produce something extraordinary in this place. So that journey was at some point of time, then it was grown beyond our expectation. Like Basankudi, the public pool that we were swimming with the public batches, and was not enough. Then we thought together to get that pool under lease, and fortunately the Bangalore City Corporation has leased out the pool. I'm talking about in 1991. So since then, by the time we go into 96, and that 50-meter pool was not enough for us to train. So then we again approached the city corporation, and that side where we have the small swimming pool, that was a shooting range. And then corporation has given that as a separate lease to Basangudi. So there he built rather on his own personal contribution. That was fully personal contribution from his own personal money, that we built a 25-meter pool there. And that changed the whole scenario in 96. And if I go back the memories, and believe me, Basantudi BAC had the first Olympian in 2000. That was the Sydney Olympics, where Nisha Millet qualified for the Olympics, so the first one. And from India, she was the first female athlete to qualify and go for the Olympics. That was in 2000. And I think by then, swimming in Bangalore, especially in Bangalore South, it has become a household stuff. Every house, there was a swimmer in Basangudi area. And, that has changed the whole arithmetics of competitive swimming in Bangalore. And by 1993, Karnataka swimming started winning the senior championship. And before that, we won the junior championship. In 1993 national championship, we shared the open national championship with railways, and with all the young athletes I am talking about. We had only swimmers below 15 years. Till now, from then till now, that we haven't lost the championship for Karnataka. That shows the depth of the Karnataka's talent pool. And meantime, what has happened is we start getting swimmers from all over the country to come and train back in Bangalore, where we had 2 or 3 bus swimming facilities available in the country. So that was the initial part of Bangalore's swimming culture, and you were part of that culture initially when you were from the Kumarans. And I think you trained with Girish for some time. That's what my memory goes.
Girish and Padmanabh sir and others.
Yeah, you didn't come back to my batch by the time I think you finished the 10th standard. I think you were 1 year elder to my 1 year senior to my son in Kumarans, I think. Yeah. So I still remember those vague memories in the mind. So that
Pradeep, two lines about Sajan, 2 lines about all these swimmers you have seen, Srihari, Manav. I'm sure you have seen all of them perform, so that more young people can be inspired, not just to take up sports, but also perform and pursue excellence in their respective fields. What is it that you have seen in them that all of us can draw inspiration from?
Absolutely. These guys are amazing because the reason is that we have some people on the top of the iceberg now, and it is not that we just produce one Olympian from one swimmer that we train, and there are hundreds and thousands of swimmers at their age training all over the country, all over the world, and you pick up you get few of them. Rather, I need to make a statement here that it is not the coach makes the athlete and a good athlete make the coach, rather. So because I would have trained about 20,000 swimmers in Pasankudi for 30 years of my service there, but then I could only make about 5 Olympians. That tells the story. So a good athlete, and if you are lucky to get them, and you probably have an Olympian, provided that they have the zeal to win, that they have the zeal to attain that position to come in. So we get 1 in a million, and these guys are amazing. The hard work that let me start with Sajan. Sajan. I just cannot say a word for Sajan because Sajan motivates you as a coach than I motivate him as a swimmer, because he's right now, he's about 27 years old, and and nobody believed in him that he has in it that to qualify the A qualifying at this age, including, I should say, that Sajan as part of the top scheme of government of India, and unfortunately after the age of 25 they don't keep the athlete within the top scheme. Probably this is one thing that you can think about it, talking to them, because the swimming performance at this present stage at the world level, it is even 30, 32, they started performing at international level. It means these young boys and girls, like Hari is just only 20. He has another 15 years of swimming, maybe another 3 Olympics for him. And Sajan is the first swimmer to get into the second Olympics with the second Olympics. So what require is like Srihari or Mana, I've seen them and very, very young and small. I being part of the Swimming Federation of India, the secretary sitting here with us. And we have seen very talented young people. And ultimately, the difference is the swimmer who has the will to perform, the will to withstand that kind of pressure, that kind of onslaught. The training is such that it kills them at each day. And when they come back to the house, they have nothing left in them after the training. So that's the only difference between any athlete. If you take the one who successes with the one who has the more willpower.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Pradeep sir. I just want to, before we conclude this session, I want to ask Mr. Monal Choksi, the representative, the head from the Indian Swimming Federation, who has graciously joined us, to wish all of the athletes on behalf of us. And also, sir, I want to know specifically of the institutional support that swimmers have received in the last few years. How has that made a difference?
Thank you, Tejas. It was nice of you, not one but 2 A qualifiers, when A qualification has eluded Indian swimming for the decades now. So this is an awesome moment and a turning point for Indian swimming, and it is sheer dedication of the coaches.
Monalji, I'm so sorry. We can't hear you too well. I will have to cut you short because the network is pretty patchy there. But thank you so much for everything.
So coming to institutional.
Yes. I can't hear you too well, sir.
I'm sorry about the audio. What I'm trying to say is, on the question of institutional support, I've been talking to people around in our fraternity, and the only thing that I would like to say is that never before in the past has the government this kind of attention, this kind of support, and this will take us a long way in sport, not only in aquatics, but I'm sure in all other sports. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Monalji, for those very encouraging words. Srihari, all the very best, man. Do well and make us all proud. Sajan, you have no idea the kind of people who you have inspired. Not once, but twice you have made it to the Olympics. And it takes a sheer amount of willpower, so much of dedication to do that. Guru, salute, and lots of hard work. Lots of best wishes to you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Mana, you have inspired a generation of young girls, especially young Gujaratis, to take up more swimming. I'm sure you will bring so much more accolades to the country. I wish you the very best. Mirza, a fellow Bangalorean to another Bangalorean, wish you the very best. Make India proud. And guys, when you are getting into the pool and when you are getting into the field in Tokyo, know one thing, that 100 crore Indians are rooting for you, that their prayers and their hopes and all of their best wishes is with each one of you. You are not alone in the pool that day. You are representing and carrying the hopes of 1 billion people. With that note, I wish all of you the very, very best. You are our stars. You inspire us. Pradeep sir, thank you. Monalji, thank you. Namaskar.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Yashvi, before we conclude this session, can we have a photograph with the victory sign? I'll take a screenshot.
Yes, yes, absolutely.
For them.
Thank you. Great, great.